Welcome to ZBTR TV.
The goal is to unearth and document the Zambian narrative in the best way possible.
Catch us live every Saturday on Facebook and YouTube.
We broadcast every Saturday at 10 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. PT.
With a growing audience across the globe, we connect Zambians and share resources abroad.
Be part of our journey. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
With a growing audience across the globe, we connect Zambians and share resources abroad.
The ZBTR TV show.
Did you know? Less than 10% of our viewers are subscribed. Don't miss out. Be part of the community. Mark your calendars. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Flow live.
Welcome to the show. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's. I hope you said Happy Valentine's to your significant half or your special person. We have a special Valentine's show for you today, and we are going to have a very, very important discussion in Zambia's political discourse. As you may be aware, I believe it's within 6-7 months now. I believe 13th August, Zambia will be going to the polls, and there's going to be, you are following things that are happening in Zambia, and you can see that there is need to coalesce, to coordinate, to bring the opposition together. I have two gentlemen here joining me. I hope the other one will come and join us later. Joining us today from Lusaka, Zambia, is not a stranger. He's been here before. If you don't know His Royal Highness Akashambatwa Mbikusita Lewankia, then you are not a Zambian. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well, thank you. Busy on Valentine's Day. Let's make it Valentine's Day for love of country and Africa.
I like that. I like that. Let's make it a special Valentine for love of country and love of Africa. We shall be. Hope Mr. Dr. Chitala joins us because there's a lot to talk about. I know you can handle it, but I wouldn't like to flood you with a lot of these things.
We actually agreed that it's so good for us to do it together.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
I do hope that he will manage now as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're looking forward to him joining us, and then we can do that. Now, everybody joining us for the next few weeks, you're going to be noticing us run some commercials here, because Buying Property in Zambia, an organization that serves and caters to the diaspora community, has bought some airtime. However, it does not mean that they agree to everything that we are discussing here. They are simply trying to reach the diaspora community, and that is the reason that they've got some time here. So before we begin our discussion, Mr. Lewankia, let's just take a commercial break here from our sponsors.
Another year has passed. You're a Zambian living abroad, and you still haven't made progress on your property investment goals. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ambition. A lot of people fail because they just don't have a clear system to follow. And when you live abroad, the whole process of buying property can seem even more confusing. Lucky for you, we have just the thing to turn your property dreams into action. Join us for an exclusive session where we'll break down proven strategies to help you set, sustain, and achieve property goals in 2026. You'll even get a workbook to help you map out your own personal property investment plan. If securing your financial future through property is important to you, then sign up using the link below and join us for our property goal setting session for 2026. In just one session, you'll walk away with expert strategies to help you set achievable property goals, step-by-step guidance on budgeting and smart investment tips, and a structured workbook to help you prepare your own personal property plan. This is one webinar you can't afford to miss. Sign up now and start 2026 with a solid plan. The webinar is taking place on 28th March at 17 hours Zambian time. So register now using the link below, and we can't wait to see you there.
Excellent. That's our sponsor, Buying Property in Zambia. And we do encourage you to sign up for the webinar and this link below, which they have provided here. Honorable Lewankia, today we are discussing the Zambia Council of Elders for Ethical Leadership, Democracy and Development, of which you are a part of. Can you clarify the council's mandate and how it was established?
Thank you very, very much. And this is a good opportunity to have a spelling lesson. The Council of Elders, council in that title is spelled COUNCIL, like a district council.
Okay.
It's not a council like the lawyer or Alangizi.
Perfectly done. Perfectly done. Council.
The questions have arisen on what gives us the mandate to be a Alangizi, a political Alangizi. But it probably doesn't make any difference, the two words. Because what it is that many people, I could say that without fear of contradiction, have expressed concern. And several people have started initiative over a very long period of trying to see whether people who believe in the democracy and development change agenda, people who believe in the need to change not only the person of the president or the party that is in government administration, but to change towards resetting Zambia towards once and for all fulfilling the promises of independence, of freedom, equality, and justice for all, and the promises of the return of multi-party democracy, of having a political field in which citizens are really free to exercise their civil and human rights without restraints. Some of the restraints are inherited from colonialism, some are inherited from the one-party state, some are being built on by current governments, including the present government administration. Now, in the light of this, if I may start with my entry into this, some elders called summoned, I would say, myself and a senior chief from Chinga to a meeting at which they expressed their concern over these issues, and at which they informed us that they had formed a council of elders. It wasn't called that, it had no name at that time, but there was a group of them who had expressed this concern. At that first meeting, my first meeting, I revealed to them that I've also been very concerned, and I'd been spending a lot of time in Lusaka meeting all the people that I could who were availing themselves or being availed or being mentioned as potential presidents of Zambia. And that I suggested that given their prestige, the prestige of the personalities in their groups, some of whom, if not all of whom, had more prestige than myself, it would be a good idea that they invite these various political leaders, one by one or in groups of their alliances and so on, and hear from them what their challenges are, what their ambitions and strategies are, and what they really need. And out of those meetings, it transpired that almost all of them, not exactly every one of them, indicated that they would welcome, in fact, invited and beseeched us to provide a forum to facilitate their consultations together towards constituting a team leadership, which would lead to a common collective campaign and an agreement on at least a minimum program of change, and also to get ready to form the next government in the same format of unity. Then it was agreed that during the course of these meetings, that the next step was to see them all together.
All the political party leaders.
Those who were willing and those who were interested, those who were calling us to go forward in this path, through a meeting of all of them together with members of the Council of Elders, and if possible with other actors in civil society and other leadership in the country. This meeting was arranged on the 16th of January. And at that meeting, it was reaffirmed that it was desirable for those who were willing and who were serious, who wanted real change beyond personal removal of a particular person from the presidency or change of party in government, to really reset Zambia constitutionally and in terms of its economic system and in terms of social relationship. As you know, this issue of tribalism has become a very hot issue.
Yes, yes.
They resolved to constitute a national conference planning committee to delve deeper into these issues and to drive them to a conclusive way forward, which they commit themselves. And so when this committee met, they elected me as chairperson and my comrade Mbita Chitala as vice chairperson. They also appointed 2 secretaries, and we have been working on this. We are just in the last lap of completing our plans, which we will report to the Council of Elders, and then proceed forward to that national conference within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. There is this, how do you respond to critics who say the council is biased towards the former ruling party, PF?
Well, it is not correct, and it's not our dominant character at all. And of course, individual citizens are free to support any party of their choice. But when an individual citizen is given an opportunity to play a role that requires of them to be non-partisan, they should do that. Just like the permanent secretary has a right to support a particular party. But when they are at their desk, they should provide service without discrimination and without partisanship. So the Council of Elders, the members of the Council of Elders are of such stature that they are retirees, whatever roles they've played in the past, they are now concerned about the national issue of bringing about real change, so that we don't repeat what we have been doing for 7 times since independence, of changing the person of the government, the presidency and changing the ruling party, and failing to change towards fulfilling once and for the promises of independence and the promises of returning to multi-party democracy.
Mm-hmm. So
now,
there's
in terms of the ruling party,
yes,
and us, they have demonstrated to be adamant that they are resisting changes towards democratization, coming up with bills like Bill 7 and this other obnoxious bill that they are considering to capitalize on the Bill 7 and other freedom restraining manipulation of the Constitution of the past to further squeeze the space for political players in the forthcoming election. And therefore, they have not given us a sign that they're interested in change. But should we be mistaken in that judgment against them, and it turns out that they are interested in changing the constitutional regime towards depersonalizing leadership, towards ensuring that we do not continue with a single party dominance that abuses government, and all these other outstanding problems that some of which I inherited before this particular administration came to power, then they are very welcome. If the president of Zambia can say that he wants to join forces with others to ensure that we have the fourth Republican Constitution, which democratizes Zambia to the extent of fully fulfilling the promise of is welcome to join us. But I should also say that apart from these constitution molesting activities, the activities of arresting political people in a manner that shows partisanship or that does not completely convince most people that it is professional, also have been occasions where the president has been asked to come and meet on one platform with other leaders where he has refused. I know from my Barroseland experience that when the president and his government administration said they were ready to engage in dialogue with the Barroso authorities, the Barroso authorities asked that before we start, let's agree on the rules of engagement. And one of the rules of engagement that the Barroso delegation proposed was that at what would become the first meeting of that dialogue engagement, President Hakainde Hichilema, together with His Majesty the Litunga, should be present to signal their serious commitment towards this dialogue.
Yes.
The president's representative rejected that completely. They said he's too big, he's a national leader, he cannot be involved on an equal basis with Litunga. So we'll be happily surprised if he's prepared now to engage human to human with other presidents of political parties to discuss the way forward.
So an invitation has been sent to him to participate in whatever meeting that has been arranged.
Our invitation has been open. Even now I can make it. Citizens who are concerned and committed and demanding a change in the next election that goes beyond changing the ruling party, that goes beyond changing the person of the president, that goes towards the formulation of fourth Republican Constitution, which will answer all the grievances that have been expressed over all the other attempts at changing the Constitution since 1969, are welcome to participate and indicate their willingness to participate in the next national conference.
Okay.
And also it must be said, not all political parties or political leaders who are not in the current government administration have the same agenda. Some of them, actually, their only quarrel is that they want to be the ones who enjoy personalized leadership. They want their party to be the one that enjoys single party dominance. So those, even in the opposition, those who don't believe in real radical change have been misplaced to be among us.
Okay.
So that is why I'm saying that it is not quite correct to say we are mobilizing the opposition parties. We are mobilizing citizens, particularly political leaders and political formations that believe in this type of radical change to come together. Because if we believe in the same thing, we stand a better chance if we are united. And in our organization and meetings, I have brought to the attention of participants that one of the original slogans of the Rhodesia African Congress was leadership through teamwork. So in a sense, we are calling for leadership through teamwork among those who are committed to this type of real change.
I'm glad you've made that clarification that the sole mandate of the council is not to mobilize political parties. That was the perception that has been going around, to say your mandate is to mobilize political parties. It leads me to the next question. How do you ensure the council's process is democratic and representative of all Zambians? Some people have claimed, I think I did send you a video clip where a particular party representative is claiming this is a tribal inclined. It's very inclined to one tribal group of people, the council. So how do you ensure that
which tribe is that? No.
I don't know.
My invitation, as I say, is as I've stated. It does not exclude anybody. It seeks to reach out to everybody. And even as we are preparing this conference, even as we are approaching it, and even when we meet, we are continuing to reach out to whoever out there is willing to be with us, regardless of which part of the country they come from, regardless of political party they associate with. We are even inviting political leaders who are seeking to stand for the presidency or for parliament as independents. So it's a getting together across party political formations, including individuals who are aiming to be independent candidates or who are politically independent.
Okay. Let me take you back to the upcoming, is it convention? It's on March 28th, right?
The convention?
The
national conference we are calling for. Okay. Yes, I think I can announce, subject to unforeseeable sin, that the planning committee has proposed and agreed on the 26th and 27th February to be the dates for the national conference.
Okay, it's February, not March, okay?
No, yes.
26 and 27. The reason I want to take you back to this national conference is who can participate and what should I do if I want to participate?
We have a committee, which is the reception committee, which as soon as we finalize the plans, which is on Tuesday or even before, they can contact to indicate their willingness to participate. But we are also sending out invitations to many civil society organizations and many political formations inviting them to bring a given number of people. The plan as it stands now, subject to final confirmation, is that 45% of the attendees, the invited attendees, will be shared equally between participating political formations. And then 55% will come from non-political party actors in civil society and in our other sectors of leadership in the country.
Okay. And how are you going to determine that?
Well, we are determining the number each party can bring. It's up to the party who they bring. We are determining the number of which each civil society can bring. They'll determine who they bring. And that is basically the basic formulation. That there may be some individual invitations arising from people showing interest, but the core of the invitation would not be by the Council of Elders or the Planning Committee directly to the participants, but indirectly through delegating this responsibility to the various organizations that will be willing to participate and send participants.
All right, that's interesting, because I just wanted that information to be clarified for those who might want to
You were also asking what individual citizens or groups can do. Is that organizing such a thing is costly in terms of time and money, and we welcome volunteers who can assist in organizing this conference and administering it. We welcome voluntary donations, however small they are, towards this, so that as many of us would be a part of this thing, not just to buy in, but to contribute to and on collectively.
So I presume this will be in Lusaka, right?
Yes, so very likely it will be in Lusaka. But I must say that we are living in a very suppressive environment. It is our hope that the governing administration and all its arms would not seek to suppress us or to disrupt the exercise of our civil and human rights. Fortunately, the Council of Elders is not itself the host. We have actually lent ourselves our willingness to be hosted by a non-partisan organization which normally whose duty is to hold dialogue, to promote dialogue among Zambians, particularly over governance, but also over economic affairs and social affairs generally. So that the hosts will be our host together with all the participants.
Okay. So in other words, this national conference will be hosted under the umbrella of this organization. You can't mention it?
Yes, we can mention it. This is the Center for Policy Dialogue. It has held many conferences all over the country, including the Harry Nkumbula Memorial, discussions of all sorts of topics, invitation of various speakers, and forums for discussion. And it has been a long established in the country. So it is not a vehicle formed for this particular occasion only or formed by us, but it is a forum that exists in the country in the manner that is befitting of a democratic society, that citizens should be free to organize forums for dialogue among themselves.
Okay. There's a comment from one of our viewers, Dr. Musoma. He says, I think in your explaining about the national conference, you use the word oppressive. So he says, not sure what he means by oppressive. I find it interesting. Can you speak to this?
I can't remember. It was in what context? Do you remember?
You were talking about the guy, if you were talking about that the conference will not be disrupted or not allowed to go ahead.
I think I used the word suppressive.
Oh, suppressive. Okay.
Yes, we are in a very suppressive environment. I must say that. That there are many people one is meeting. Those who have jobs are fearful. Those without jobs are fearful. Those businessmen who need government contracts are fearful. Even those who are unemployed are fearful. Because whether you get FISIP, whether you get fertilizer, whether you get the welfare support programs, may depend on whether the government official with the responsibility to discharge that public service is partisan or not. In too many cases, they are partisan. In too many cases, they are corrupt. In too many places, they behave in a manner that makes citizens not free to express themselves or to expose themselves in case these suppressive arms of government will be used to slap them down.
Okay.
I can say that without fear of contradiction. Every Zambian living in Zambia now knows that many of our people are not free to express their political opinions, to show up. The few members of the Council of Elders who have shown their faces in public have been tormented
by
state agents and UPND party officials and funny structured press imposition. Like you mentioned at the beginning, this accusation that the council is biased towards PF, these are suppressive statement. One, apart from being totally untrue.
Here is another Honorable Lewankia. There's who is being suppressed? Ms. Clotilda is asking. During
I'll be very specific without naming names. Some of the people we're working with for the national meeting, the meeting we held, which resolved for this, actually begged, asked for their names not to be put down.
Not to be put down.
Because they are afraid.
One of the arguments people are making is that we didn't see any violence in the Chawama election.
Pardon?
One of the arguments the viewers are making is that we didn't see any violence in the Chawama elections.
That should be normal. It should not be news. The fact that it's news tells us another news, that violence is likely or feared. It shouldn't be news. No election should be violent. And someone, for me not beating you up, I should not be congratulated. I should not beat you up, period. There should be no violence, period. Nobody needs to be congratulated for not being violent.
Okay.
That is our civic duty.
All right, let's continue here.
Try to get credit that there was no violence. It means that because he didn't beat up people, we should be thankful.
How will the council make its proceedings and decisions transparent to the public?
Yes, we are even inviting media like yourself. If you want to cover it live, we will be very appreciative, because we can't afford logistically for everybody to be there, but we need as the word to go out as transparently and as possible to reach out to as many people as possible.
Okay. How you are the chairperson, and I'm hoping
I'm the chairperson of the planning committee for the conference.
Not the Council of Elders.
No, I'm not the chairman of the Council of Elders.
Who is the chair? I thought you said you were the chairman of the Council of Elders. That was my understanding.
No. I'm the chairman of the planning committee for the national conference.
Okay.
Yes, the Council of Elders, as I say, I was invited to join, so it existed before me.
Before you, okay.
Composed of people who are even more honorable than myself, and I'm glad to be in their company so that I can pull up my socks and also be honorable.
Let me take you back, since I had a misconception that you were the chairperson. Is the Council of Elders structured? Does it have a structure?
It is a group, a team, with a chairperson, and from meeting to meeting we have secretaries. From meeting to meeting we assign or volunteer to undertake certain duties, and we collectively decided to have that meeting with all the political leaders. At that meeting with all the political leaders, it was resolved to form a planning steering committee. And it's that steering committee, when it met at its first meeting, that elected me as chairperson of the planning committee, and my comrade Mbikusita as vice chairman. And I must say that at that first meeting, before accepting our appointment, both myself and my comrade Mbita pledged that we ourselves are not interested in availing ourselves for any political elective office. So we are not going to be candidates. And I'm also pleased that at its second meeting, the planning committee, those leaders of political formations, including those who want to be presidential candidates, pledged that they are committed to remain part of this team leadership, whether or not they are the ones elected to be the presidential and vice presidential candidate. This is very, very commendable, because one of the sticky factor in our efforts to unite like-minded people is the conflict of personal ambition, and the extent to which people think their ambitions to be the presidential candidate now is so much more important than the national cause of having a leadership team with a team spirit. So I'm so happy and encouraged that there are some of our would-be presidential candidates who are setting their ambitions to be available as presidential candidates, but also expressing their commitment that they are in this struggle and they will remain in this collective team leadership, even if they are not. I think that is basically the spirit that we need going forward.
Okay, excellent. All right, everybody joining us. We're going to take a commercial break. Like I mentioned that for the next 6 weeks, our programs have been sponsored by Buying Property in Zambia. Let's take a break before we come back with our guest and continue to discuss the work that the Council of Elders envisions to achieve going forward towards the elections.
Another year has passed. You're a Zambian living abroad and you still haven't made progress on your property investment goals. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ambition. A lot of people fail because they just don't have a clear system to follow. And when you live abroad, the whole process of buying property can seem even more confusing. Lucky for you, we have just the thing to turn your property dreams into action. Join us for an exclusive session where we'll break down proven strategies to help you set, sustain, and achieve property goals in 2026. You'll even get a workbook to help you map out your own personal property investment plan. If securing your financial future through property is important to you, then sign up using the link below and join us for our property goal setting session for 2026. In just one session, you'll walk away with expert strategies to help you set achievable property goals, step-by-step guidance on budgeting and smart investment tips, and a structured workbook to help you prepare your own personal property plan. This is one webinar you can't afford to miss. Sign up now and start 2026 with a solid plan. The webinar is taking place on 28th March at 17 hours Zambian time. So register now using the link below and we can't wait to see you there.
Excellent. That's our sponsorship there. So Buying Property in Zambia will be hosting a webinar on March 28th. And if you need to sign up, there is a link at the bottom there, which we shall be showing. There you go. You can sign up there and you still have a lot of time to participate. Our guest today is Mr. Akashambatwa Mbikusita Lewankia. He's not a stranger to the Zambian people, neither to this platform. And we are discussing the Council of Elders. What qualities do you think Zambia needs in the next leader?
I think the first thing, the task that we have is actually to counsel now with the different
SEL
counsel our people that part of the problems that we have inherited and are battling now arise from personalized leadership. Therefore, it is advisable that we start focusing more on collective leadership than on a person. Some people have said we are looking for a presidential candidate. That's not right. That's not correct. We are looking for a team of leaders, one of whom may turn out to be the presidential candidate, another one may turn out to be the vice presidential candidate, but all of whom are prepared to remain part of that team, even if it's not them who are chosen. I think this is very, very important because if you were to trace our political plight from independence, each time the leadership is personalized, we are into trouble. The personalization of leadership, together with the single party dominance, are our core problems. So it is important that those who are seeking for real change include in their agenda the mission of depersonalizing leadership, which starts by not over-focusing on individuals and focusing more and more on the collectivity of leadership. As I said, our forefathers, political forefathers, gave us a signal by including among their two foremost mottos, the motto of leadership through team spirit. This began to be abandoned slowly and replaced by glorification of personalities and personal leadership from the period before independence, and it has been the character of our leadership since independence. And it has been the fault line which causes all the problems that we have, I would say. And therefore, now I would answer your question that the leadership characteristic that is required to solve the problems that we have inherited is, number one, team spirit and team playing. That even if you are the leader, the president, you should count yourself first among equals, as the expression goes. And you should treat other leaders with respect and appreciation. And they should treat you with respect and appreciation, but not worship you, not delude you into thinking that you are some kind of messiah. I think that is the common characteristic that we want. In terms of individuals, we need clean leadership who are not corrupt, who have enough credit in society as clean and corrupt people in order to better fight against corruption.
Okay.
We need knowledgeable people, and the team leadership is also required to promote that leadership knowledge. All of us have some knowledge. If you work together, you have greater collective of knowledge. So that is also important. We need commitment. One of the things that noticed in our earlier leaders, the earlier leaders were volunteers.
Yes.
They were committed. They were not on pay. By the time we started paying our leaders in the 50s, even the pay we were paying sometimes was just donating meal. So money was not part of the game. Money mongering is a disease that we need to get rid of in our choice of leaders. So we need leaders who are not into money mongering, who are not into vote buying, who are not endearing themselves by flashing money. And indeed, our people must be aware that the ideal leaders are not very likely to be among those who are rich or among those who are popular, because we have to examine how did they get rich? What have they done to be popular? Is that consistent with the leadership that we want? So in looking at leaders, in choosing leaders, please don't check their wallets. Don't check how they dance, how they sing, how they sloganeer on stage, and so on. Watch for substance, watch for record, watch for people who are willing to work together with others as equals.
This issue of a presidency in Zambia, presidential candidate, the president, office of the president itself, don't you think it's a constitutional matter?
Yes, the number one item on the agenda that we think the National Conference should consider is the proposal that for once and for all, let us commit ourselves of completely reviewing our constitutional history and our constitution towards completely restructuring it to be a product that is win-win, that doesn't give advantage to one political party as opposed to the other, that does not have winners alila, that answers all the grievances that we have had. And the logical way to go about this is look at the debates, the discussions, the grievances expressed each time we have changed the constitution, and see whether we can design a process of coming up with a new constitution, the Fourth Republican Constitution, that does not lend itself for those grievances. So that if it is the time, let's give it as much time as is needed. if it is preventing the president from micromanaging the process by providing terms of reference, we can find a way of coming up with a people-driven constitution that is not based on the terms of reference coming from one person. So we can go over all the problems. Even if we look at the debate on Bill 10 the other year or Bill 7 this year, we should listen to the aggrieved voices. Let's now manage our constitutional changes in such a manner that those grievances we have heard over years do not have to be heard again, because they would be addressed positively, so that at the end of the day, there will be no aggrieved person.
Okay. Let's look at the comments from our people watching here. Mr. Mulenga says, I hope this initiative and commitment goes beyond 2026 elections. If it is just about 2026, then it may be deemed nothing more than an anti-HH movement, and not about Zambia and its citizens. Okay. I don't know whether you want to comment.
I share that hope, and that I think I've said it over and over, even in this broadcast. We want to go beyond changing the person and the ruling administration to changing the democratic regime and the economic system thoroughly, and addressing all these there are several outstanding problems in the nation that we have carried over since independence, which we need to address once and for all.
That's right. Okay. Dr. Musoma says, we're a nation of chiefs. How does his idea reconcile with this?
We are
a nation of chiefs.
We are a nation of chiefs.
Yes.
I don't know what it means, but let me say another agenda item on the national conference, which is related to the constitutional agenda on the item for discussion.
Yes.
Is how to power share between not only the branches of government, to ensure that Parliament overseeing responsibility is not compromised by the executive, to ensure the independence of the judiciary. When I was listening to the president of Ghana speaking, I was glad that the Zambian response was very positive. But this is what we've been saying all along, and this is what we are saying now ourselves, before, during, and after the president of Ghana said it. Secondly, power sharing between types of government. Power sharing between this modern governance, the central government, and the constitution of a real local government system, which has separate powers.
Yes.
There should be a separation of powers between the central government and the local government, as a proposal to be discussed at the conference. There should also be a separate of powers between the central government and the local government vis-a-vis the traditional authorities. We should review the fact that the traditional authorities had more authority, more financial responsibility, more administrative responsibility during colonial days than they've had since independence. This should be a topic to be discussed. I think in a way I've answered this question. If by a nation of chiefs, it was drawing our attention to our traditional attention. It is important for genuine decolonization that those indigenous African governments, which were the ones that were colonized, by the way, can only be decolonized by restoration of their powers, at least to share the power with other government authorities and other levels of government.
Okay. Gift says, what does he think about Bill 7? What do you think about Bill 7?
Yes, I had occasion to say that they were asking whether President HH and me have ever talked. I told them one of the occasions in which he phoned me was when there was a debate over Bill 10. At that time, his phone call was really to solicit opposition to Bill 10. My response is that, of course, I'm opposed to it. But more importantly, I'm concerned in the need for us to review what is it, how come that Parliament is able to keep coughing up bills like Bill 10. And that is my same attitude to Bill 7. Personally, I am against selective, biased changes of the Constitution. What we are calling for to be discussed by the National Conference is the proposition of a thorough review, a comprehensive review, and a preparedness to reconstruct this Constitution into a fourth republic. So that one of the items is to understand that what empowers Parliament to come up with Bill 10, Bill 7, and the current obnoxious proposition of changing the electoral regime in the favor of the ruling party. What empowers Parliament to do that? It arises from the removal of the referendum clause in the referendum of 1969. So one of the reconstruction problem is the restoration of that referendum clause, to take back the power from Parliament back to the people over the Constitution. Because we know that our Parliament has always been partisan, and our Parliament has always been controlled by the executive. And you can imagine this new bill coming to a Parliament in which those who are officially on the opposition benches have pledged to support the ruling party president in the next election. So how do you take a bill to that? He might as well have decided it in his kitchen. Because it's already compromised that Parliament. There's no debate there. And as long as there are rumors that people are being bribed, that rumor must be investigated and condemned, not to be taken as a normacy. That you take a bill to a Parliament that is being accused of being bribed for its voting process.
I am also of the view that this accusation that has gone on to say the members of Parliament were paid, I don't know that it's 3 million or whatever it was, it needs to be investigated. Because you can't make an allegation like that without proof. And
yes, you can't make it without proof, because you know that I used to be a commissioner on the anti-corruption, by the way. The dilemma with corruption is that as long as the corrupted and the corruptee are happy, there's nobody to bring up evidence. But we live in the same society.
The citizens are saying, I'm saying there needs to be an investigation if there was corruption, if they were bought.
The reason they are saying that, we watch their lifestyles. We watch how they change. We watch their houses. We watch their cars. We watch their arrogance. That leads to suspicion that they must have been pumped in with something which has become greater in their wallet or in their bank account or in their garages or in their yachts.
Okay, before we end, one or two more questions, but one more comment here. Oscar says, if he cannot name the oppressed, why saying people being oppressed? He's just making a broader statement to impress his ego. He's basically saying things which cannot be verified for me. I don't know why these guys will ever leave politics. That's Mr. Oscar. That's what he's saying.
Comment appreciated.
All right. Okay. There is obviously some resolutions, recommendations that are going to come out of the National Council on February 26 and 27. What will be the way forward after that? Are you going to present this to the government? Is the government invited to this National Council?
No, we've invited everybody who believes in the change that is being debated. But if someone who doesn't believe comes and argues and convinces us otherwise, they are welcome. And we don't need to hand over our resolutions to anybody. These are resolutions to ourselves. These are resolutions to the party leaders. They are meeting together to agree how to work together. So these are instructions to themselves. They must act upon them. If they decide to unite, they don't need the president's permission that, okay, I've seen your resolution, go ahead and unite. If they've agreed that the minimum program should include constitutional changes, they don't need anybody's permission to say that should be the priority. They're going to announce what their priorities are. They are going to hopefully chart out the way forward of implementing their priorities. It's them. Even us, my comrade and I were chairing the planning committee. The minute we plan the national conference, once it goes, the conference is open, it's out of our hands. After that, what comes out is in the hands of the leadership that will be elected. Not one person, but the whole team of leaders. It's up to them to agree that now that we are one team, what do they want to do? How do they want to campaign? How do they want to constitute government? How do they want to implement the priority areas they've decided? It's theirs.
Okay.
Sometimes I remember when I was a traditional chief and I held a meeting. And then after the break, we said we break into groups. I didn't participate in the groups, but I predicted that, you see, when the resolutions come, they will be addressed in a manner of what other people should do, rather than what those resolving will do. And indeed, when they came back, that is what it is. My advice is that there are times like this when you should put resolutions to yourself. Criticize yourself, strengthen yourself, commit yourself on your responsibility to implement what you want done, rather than to point fingers to someone who is not among you to determine whether or not what you have agreed as your commitment should be fulfilled.
Okay. All right, as we end here, Hupe says all UPND supporters are lost if you attack Akashambatwa. That's what he is saying. So after the, the conference, I've seen you wearing a T-shirt which says Fourth Republic. Is that connected to what the national conference is saying is going to be about? Is it connected to the national conference?
We will find out whether it is. As I say, one of the agenda items is to consider a thorough review of the Constitution, a preparedness to reconstruct the Constitution and constitute the Fourth Republican Constitution. That is not really unusual, because we have had the first Republican Constitution at independence. We had the second Republican Constitution, which came with one-party state. We had the third Republican Constitution, which came with the reintroduction of multi-party democracy. So the next review of the Constitution logically produces a Fourth Republican Constitution. It's another way of saying we need to consider constituting a new Constitution, which should be so thorough, so comprehensive as to constitute a constitutional regime that can be named as the Fourth Republican Constitution. No. Sufficiently different from the third and second and first constitution.
Interesting. That's well, it's always a joy to have you here, and thank you for taking the time always when we call upon you. I look forward to having some representatives from the Council of Elders after the national conference to come and speak about what resolutions will come out of that. If there is a way this platform can cover the conference, I'll be able to do it.
Conference, the Council of Elders will take a back seat and allow the elected leadership from the conference to take the front seat. But the Council of Elders is available to do overseer services as will be required by that leadership, to support as will be required by that leadership, and to keep the nation alert to ensure a push for real change. But the front row after the national convention will be taken over by the leadership that will be elected from there. As I said at the beginning, even the National Council itself is composed of people who are not standing for election. The planning committee includes some people who are standing for election because they are interested parties, but is chaired by two people who are not standing for election. So after we've delivered the national conference will deliver its own leadership going forward, but we hope to support it and encourage it to live up to its commitments.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. We look forward to the continue participating.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Let's make it a Valentine's Day for love of country, love of Africa, love
I like
of the
that. I like that.
I
like that. I like that. Thank you, sir. All right, this broadcast was sponsored by Buying Property in Zambia. They will be holding a webinar on March 28th, I believe. And if you would like to register and participate in that, please, we shall be showing you the information for you to participate, or you can go to their website. That's the website there, www.buyingpropertyinzambia.com, and you can be able to participate. Okay. Before I go, I want to show this. Where is that comment from Gift? Okay, Gift says, this is a UPND podcast. Pastor, you should come out in the open and like ambushing your guests with his MAGA UPND audience disrespecting these prominent people. Gift, Akashambatwa Mbikusita has been here like 4 or 5 times. This show has been going on for 18 years. When the MMD was in government, they thought we were PF. When PF was in government, they thought we were UPND. So we are used to this. And I expect that. That's your democratic right, and it's welcome. Here, we do not discriminate. You've seen what happens. We bring everybody and everything else that goes on here. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us, and I hope we will see you next weekend at the same time.
Another year has passed. You're a Zambian living abroad and you still haven't made progress on your property investment goals. Does that sound familiar? The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ambition. A lot of people fail because they just don't have a clear system to follow. And when you live abroad, the whole process of buying property can seem even more confusing. Lucky for you, we have just the thing to turn your property dreams into action. Join us for an exclusive session where we'll break down proven strategies to help you set, sustain, and achieve property goals in 2026. You'll even get a workbook to help you map out your own personal property investment plan. If securing your financial future through property is important to you, then sign up using the link below and join us for our property goal setting session for 2026. In just one session, you'll walk away with expert strategies to help you set achievable property goals, step-by-step guidance on budgeting and smart investment tips and a structured workbook to help you prepare your own personal property plan. This is one webinar you can't afford to miss. Sign up now and start 2026 with a solid plan. The webinar is taking place on 28th March at 17 hours Zambian time. So register now using the link below, and we can't wait to see you there.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.